Hari Om Tat Sat. Welcome to Swami Jyotirmayananda Society, our journey to self realization. Please subscribe for the mystical meanings and to enjoy daily satsang. We are currently exploring Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Commentaries by my worshipful Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayananda Maharaj, narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. So, we are currently on chapter number 16, also known as Deva Sura Sampat Vibhag Yoga, also known as the yoga of divine and demoniac qualities. And we had chanted shloka number 2 yesterday, but we couldn't complete it. So we are starting from shloka 2 again, and we will continue from there. अहिंसा सत्यम अक्रोधस्त त्यागः शान्तिरपैशुनं दया भूतेष्वलोलुप्त्वं मार्दवं हीरचापलम्. So we had studied that non-violence, truth, absence of anger, renunciation, serenity of mind, absence of fault-finding nature, compassion towards all beings, non-covetousness, gentleness, modesty, and absence of fickle-mindedness. So these are the qualifications that Lord Krishna likes in the devotees. So if we love the divine and we love the spiritual path, we should try to build these qualities. But yesterday we were on the topic of insects and uh, little ants, and so many times they come in our home and life becomes very hard. There are rats in the home, etc. So we should always try to see if there are non-violent ways to somehow get them out, or use smells that will pull them out. But if that's not possible, which means that they have to be somehow terminated through bombs or through pest companies which they do in go to homes and so on, then it is advisable to at least chant prayers for them, and so they may all get a better embodiment in the next life. And so it should be done with compassion. Don't just kill uh, a spider if they are walking and not telling you anything outside, like on your footpath or something. There's no reason to kill it. So many people just pick up their shoe and just kill it. So that's what we mean, that in thought, word, and deed, we should become compassionate for all of life. And another person, like even the farmers, sometimes one farmer asked me that question, that they have to put insecticides and pesticides on the crops that grow, and is that violence, and what should we do for that? And that the answer is the same. You still, while you're putting the pesticides, while you are killing those creatures who would eat the pesticides and then not survive, to then pray for them through Om Triambakam mantra chanting and seek God's forgiveness, because that is part of your life. If you don't do it, obviously the crop will be worsened, or it will be ruined, and everyone has a right to earn a livelihood. So common sense must be used, although non-violence should be the preferred route if possible. If not, then of course with a compassionate heart things should be done. Finally, non-covetousness, these other qualities, of hoarding. Sometimes we have 6 7 of those things, we don't even know they're sitting somewhere in our home, and yet there's another sale, we go buy them. So that becomes our very nature. So if we start leading a simple life, then we will see how little we need and how much balanced our life becomes, because we are not you know polluting our mind with so many things. So that should be a good practice. When you buy something, take one or two things out of your home, and then they can help others. Like if it's in good condition, you can donate it to some worthy person, or give it to the goodwill, or whatever you think will do. But those are the qualities God is also explaining. And then gentleness, Be very gentle in your demeanor, soft spoken, obviously, and be modest. Don't try to claim too much superiority, or with big things, or big take credit in everything. That kind of personality, once you're on this spiritual path, should shift. Give it to God, give it to Him at His lotus feet. An absence of fickle mindedness, that is meaning not able to make decisions. You say one thing and you do something else, or you don't do it and then you say it. So those are, or should I do something, and then we change our mind constantly. That is what God is trying to guide us, and give us the wisdom to stay away from these qualities, the bad ones, and to build the good ones. So next shloka number 3. Tejah kshama dhriti shaucham द्रोहो नातिमानिता भवन्ति सम्पदं दैवीं भिजातस्य भारत. So then God continues: valor, strength, forgiveness, fortitude, purity, absence of animosity, and freedom from pride. These are the qualities of one who is born with a divine nature, O Bharata. So, as we have discussed in the past, gunas, which is our essential nature, some are born as sattvic people, some are rajasic, and some are tamasic. But even then, born in with those gunas, one still has the capacity to change those things. But here God is saying those people who are essentially coming from the divine souls, divine worlds, who naturally have these qualities, they have these. Others need to develop them. Regardless, these are the qualities that should be followed, like strength, forgiveness. Always, when somebody has done something wrong to you, forgive them, but also seek forgiveness, for none of us are pure either. We may have hurt somebody intentionally or unintentionally, so we should do that. And then have purity. Fortitude is strength of persistence in doing something. You do it with your full faith and full strength. And purity meaning always try to keep your surroundings pure, clean, and also your heart pure and clean. An absence of animosity, uh, which is different from anger. It's like a more more higher form of anger, I guess, where we are always having animalistic natures, too much pleasure oriented things, and too much violence, etc. Stay away from that. And then freedom from pride. There should be no ego, no superiority complex at all. So if we have these, then we are divine. Now God is moving on to the other aspect, which is the demoniac qualities. See the mercy of God. He is showing us what to do and what not to do, what is demoniac, so we avoid those and we stick with the pure and the virtuous qualities. So here God says in shloka 4: dambho darpo abhimanascha क्रोधः पारुष्यमेव च अज्ञानं चाभिजातस्य पार्थ सम्पदमासुरीम्. O Partha, he who is born with a demoniac nature, in him these negative qualities manifest, which is hypocrisy, conceit, pride, anger, harsh speech, and ignorance. So, fairly self explanatory. These are the qualities that we should try to avoid. Hypocrisy means we say something, preach something, but have a totally different, contrary behavior, and we don't do it ourselves, but we expect others to do it. So, that's hypocrisy, hypocritical. And conceit is, and pride, those are the things that we should try to obviously avoid, because they simply are taking us towards rajas and tamas. So we should try to stay in sattva. And we shouldn't speak rudely to people either. Just because somebody is poor doesn't deserve our harsh words. So we should use words full of love and compassion. And also ignorance is a problem because we do things due to lack of knowledge. So here God is saying trying to remove ignorance is very important, otherwise we will continue to stay in a demoniac nature. So moving on to shloka 5, Devi sampad vimokshaya निबंधाया सुरीमता मा शुचः संपदम दैवीं भिजातोऽसि पांडव. O Arjuna, the divine qualities are for liberation, while the demoniac qualities lead one to bondage. Do not grieve, you are born with divine qualities. What a beautiful shloka. So here God is saying, O Arjuna, in other words, to each of us, the reason I'm giving you these divine qualities, sattva, why should you be in sattva? Because that helps you to attain mukti, moksha, liberation. And the demoniac qualities, why shouldn't you do those? Why should you avoid those? Because they will continue to bind you, create bondage for you if you don't do those. But here God is now giving assurance to not only to Arjuna but to you and me also, to all devotees of God, that don't worry, you are born of divine qualities. Because if you were not, then you wouldn't be listening to this satsanga. You would be doing something outside in the world full of materialism and or tamasic things. But since you are here, you also, like Arjuna, don't have to grieve or worry. You are also born of divine qualities. So shloka 6, Dvau bhuta sargo loke asmin deva asura aiva cha devo vistarashah prokta asuram partha me shranu. In this world there are two kinds of beings, divine and demoniac. The divine qualities have been described by me in detail. Now listen to the uh, negative qualities of the demoniac beings. So here God is not done yet. He wants us to understand the demoniac qualities in great detail. He says, I've already expressed to you why you should use good qualities, do good, be good, and develop sattva, purity in yourself, and why you should avoid the demoniac qualities. But he'll continue to give us more demoniac qualities because he wants us to stay far away from each one of those things, because they can come up easily, and we should self introspect also. So shloka number 7, pravrittim cha nivrittim cha janana vidurasuraha na shaucham na pichacharo na satyam teshu vidyate. Men born with demoniac qualities do not know the difference between what is to be done and what is not to be done. They neither have purity or right conduct, nor do they have truthfulness. So here God is saying we should be mindful of people who do those, and also be mindful of ourselves when we may be knowingly or unknowingly doing them. Because when we get to that state, that has now become demoniac quality, meaning not having purity is rajas and tamas only. So purification is uh, absolutely required, and ethical contact is required. We say something, do something else, that is not okay. On this path we have to be totally sincere. And if we are not truthful, meaning we always twist the facts to help us, then that is not what God says the proper conduct. So with this we conclude our satsang for today. We will continue this beautiful journey from shloka number 8, chapter number 15 in tomorrow's satsang. Hari Om Tat Sat.